You may say, but I don't have access to successful people. How am I going to do this? And my answer to that is you do have access to successful people. Hi, guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tamara. If it is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. And if you like what you see, hit that like button as well. Now, today we're going to be talking about confidence. Are you tired of feeling a lack of confidence when it comes to pursuing your career or getting promoted? Are you tired of not feeling confident enough to pursue the actions that you need to become financially free? Well, if that's the case, I have some tips in this video that I believe will help you. The first tip in order to fix this confidence issue is to believe in yourself. And I know people say it all the time, and it's easier said than done, but this is very, very important, right? Because if you don't believe you can do it, then I and everybody else will believe you. So the first step is to get that belief, that self belief. You might have to work on it for sure, but that is the only way that you're going to take action in your journey to becoming wealthy or financially free. I think too often we hold ourselves back with negative thoughts. And I have one rule: I never say or think badly about myself. I definitely don't say it out loud because I believe that there is power in the tongue. But it's so important that what you say about yourself, you're hearing it over and over, and it's going to lead you to believe it even more. So make sure that your mindset and your thoughts as it relates to you is one that is positive and one where you're telling yourself that you can do this. If other people are doing it, so can you. Tip number two: educate yourself. Now, to develop confidence and to have that wealth mindset, it's going to be important that you educate yourself on personal development, finance, and even strategies to become successful, right? This is something that I absolutely believe in. I have read so many books, I have listened and gone to seminars. You need to take an active interest in the very first investment that I believe everybody should make, and that's investing in yourself through education, right? Because you have to know what it takes to make those strategic moves to become wealthy in the first place. Tip number three: set clear and achievable goals. Now, at the start of every year, people are doing their vision boards, and I am a big believer in a vision board. I have had vision boards for years now. I do it, and I do it with my son as well. So I believe in this because I think you have to make sure that that vision is plain in terms of where you want to be. But once you have the right mindset and you're setting those goals, you have to make sure that you have a plan to achieve those goals. So you want to write down your goals. What are your long-term goals, right? Where do you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years, okay? And you also want to know what your short-term goals are. What do you want to do over the next few months? What do you want to do and accomplish within the next year, right? Those things you definitely have to document. I am a big believer in that. And that will start your mind going on what now is going to be required to get there. When you have your short-term and your long-term goals sorted out, you have to have an action plan behind these goals. I'm a big believer in action plans. I am the action planning queen in my household because it makes no sense to write down a goal, feel good about writing it down on paper, and then you don't know how you're going to get there, right? So you must write an action for every goal. So, say for example, you have a goal to publish a video on YouTube because you aspire to become a YouTuber, then your action plan that supports that goal will have to tell you by when do you want to publish this video on YouTube, because your goals have got to be time bound, right? So if you want to publish a video on YouTube, say, the first of the next month, right? The first of March or something like that, whichever it is, then you're going to have to back up from that because the video will need to be edited, the video will need to be recorded, and then even before that, you're gonna have to put together the content. So you may need 3 weeks or 2 weeks of lead time before you can actually publish that video on YouTube, right? And even when you're looking at those actions or those steps, when you break it down even more, you may say, well, after your content is written, you want to record your video, you need equipment to record your video, right? Maybe you need a phone or you need a camera. So the actions will make sure that you're taking care of all of the details required to get the goal accomplished, right? Now that's an example about YouTube, but say it's your career and you want to be promoted, right? So if you say to yourself, within a year, I want to be a senior executive or senior manager where I work, then you have to understand what is required to get there. Do you need additional certification? Right? Some roles require very specific certification, right? That you have to have. So you have to look at, do I need certification? And then how long will certification take? If you plan to get promoted by a certain time, then you know you have X amount of time in terms of a window to get all the actions that you need, all the items, the certification, the experience, whatever it is, checked off before that time comes when you are expecting to achieve that promotion or that goal. Tip number 4 is take action. And there are times when the actions we may need to take, we may feel a little intimidated or afraid. My advice is do it afraid. Do it afraid if you have to, because what people don't realize is when you do it afraid, in my opinion, that's where your superpower comes from. When you're able to face your fear and take action in the face of fear, then you start to realize that you can do this. It increases your confidence. It builds your confidence muscles, I like to say, right? Every time you face your fear and you accomplish something, then you get even more confidence. Your confidence level increases, right? So you're building those confidence muscles. And remember, if you don't take action towards the goals, how are the goals going to be accomplished, right? You have to take action and don't let fear hold you back. Tip number 5, surround yourself with positive and successful people. When you surround yourself with the right people, you will stay motivated, right? They're going to want to see you successful, or they have had some success and now they're sharing with you, whether through mentorship or just giving you tips in terms of how to stay on track, right? In terms of accomplishing your own goals. Now, you have to be careful though who you go to for advice, right? And I'll tell you a quick story. So I remember once I wanted to apply for a job, a promotion. It was going to be a promotion, but this was a significant promotion, right? A significant jump from where I was. And I was saying it to somebody who I usually go to this person for advice, and I felt that, they usually give me good advice. And I told the person that I wanted to go up for that promotion. And the person said to me, "Are you sure? I'm not sure you can do that." I said, "Why?" And the person said, "Oh, that job is too big for you. You're too small for that job, you know?" And I continued to question that. I have never heard that I was too small for a job before. I know I am petite, I'm very petite, but she was actually telling me how she saw me, right? So, in her estimation, I was just too small for so big of a job. And, I continued to question and I said, "Well, why do you think that?" And then I heard it. "I couldn't even do that job. So I don't know how you would do that job, Tamara." And then I understood. See, the vision of your own success, greatness, or financial freedom is in you. That dream is in you. It is not in anybody else. And sometimes, if people can't see themselves in a certain place, in a certain job, or being financially free, then sometimes they can't see that for you either. So when you go to them for advice, they can't process it for you, right? Because they don't think they can do it themselves. So it is very, very important that you assess the persons that you're going to for advice, right? You may say, "But I don't have access to successful people. How am I going to do this?" And my answer to that is, you do have access to successful people. See, I was in this very position, right? How would I be able to access people who have done great things before? How would I know what they went through? And the answer is in books. Many successful people have written books that tells us what their thoughts are surrounding success. They give tips that they have used in their own life. They have shared their struggles in the book. So you know exactly what they've gone through in their life. And that would help you to be motivated and confident to be able to achieve your goals as well, right? So I have read a lot of books, right? I believe it's something that you really need to do. It is access to somebody else's experience, right? Direct access to the experience of those who have done it before. So you have books like Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That book I read in my very early 20s, and that's where my interest in real estate came from. And like I said in other videos, I have invested in real estate. It's my favorite investment, actually. And this is exactly where it came from, reading that book, right? You have Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You have Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins or Anthony Robbins. And there's another one that I want to show you. Okay, so this book, No Regrets, Just Lessons by Odetta Rockhead Carr. This one is a special one because this is my Jamaican sister, Odetta, and I link her details below because she has a wonderful YouTube channel. And if you've never seen it, you need to go and check it out. Very inspiring, very motivating. And this book really is a testimony to it doesn't matter where you're coming from, right? You definitely can be successful. I hope that these tips were able to help you today. I hope you found value in them. I certainly enjoyed sharing them with you. Until next time, please remember to subscribe and like the video. Take care. Bye bye.